Hello. So in this one we are going to talk about Vedic gods and the hidden dimensions of reality. This one is also another part in our series in which we are going to explain Sanatan Dharma scientifically. So let's begin. So let's first talk about dimensions and lokas. How many dimensions exist? Well, relativity says that there are four dimensions: 3D dimensions, which are length, width, and height, and the fourth dimension is time. So there are four dimensions according to relativity. But once we bring in quantum physics, we find out that there is also string theory, which says there are 10 dimensions, M theory, 11 dimensions, F theory, 12 dimensions, and a specific form of string theory says there are 26 dimensions. Well, basically, I want to show that even theoretical physics says that there are dimensions which cannot be perceived by us, which we cannot imagine even. But they should exist because in theories, only with them the known physics makes sense, right? Similarly, in Sanatan Dharma, it is claimed that there are 14 lokas in total. These 14 different lokas are 14 different dimensions, or you can call them realms of reality, if not dimensions. There are these 14 different realms of reality. In the picture in the slide, you can see 13 of them. One is missing, but that I'd be showing in the last slide. Anyway, these realms can be accessed by activating certain parts of our brain, and I'm going to show how they can be accessed. Well, let's first talk about how did the Vedic rishis see divine events. So, in both Zoroastrianism, which is the ancient Persian religion, and in the ancient Vedic religion, there is something mentioned as Soma or Homa. Homa in the Zoroastrian religion and Soma in the Vedic religion. Basically, this was a plant through which a drink used to be made, and after consuming this drink, well, as you can see here, it is quoted from the Rig Veda that we have gone to the light. And in Zoroastrian texts also, this Homa gave, well, supernatural abilities. Well, so where am I going with all this? It is said that saints even now can see the divine events, like Ma Durga killing Mahishasur or Sri Krishna playing with his friends in Vrindavan. How do they do this? By altering their state of consciousness through sadhana. Some say even Vedic rishis could see these events. How? After consuming soma. Well, what could be soma actually? Most of the people who know about psychedelics are pretty sure that soma must have been a psychedelic plant. And what do psychedelic plants or psychedelic stuff do? They basically alter our state of consciousness. And how could that make them see these divine events? Well, let's talk a little deep. Let's first talk about two theoretical physics theories: the origin of consciousness, which is in the OR theory. This theory was proposed by Roger Penrose, who is a Nobel Prize winning theoretical physicist. He has worked with Stephen Hawking also. He's a mathematician too. So yeah, he's he is big gun, you can say. So he proposes that consciousness actually arises at the quantum level inside neurons rather than being a product of neural connections. That means consciousness is produced in our brain at the quantum level. Do you get it? And let's talk about another theory, which is the CCC. Here I have shown you about CCC too. It basically means that our universe iterates through infinite cycles. After a big bang, the universe grows and then it slowly ends, it slowly dies, but then again another big bang happens. That means there have been infinite cycles of big bangs and infinite universes in the timeline. So basically, what does Sanatan mean? Actually, Sanatan means something which is from the eternity. So CCC suggests that there are eons After a universe dies, another Big Bang happens, which creates another universe, and this loop keeps happening forever. The existence of the world is eternal, that means. And what does eternal mean? The existence of the world is Sanatan. So, yeah, I just wanted to tell you about these two theories. That these are both proposed by Sir Roger Penrose only. So, yeah, there are proper theoretical physicist theories which go on to say that the world could be Sanatan. And second, consciousness could arise at the quantum levels in our brain. What does it mean basically? In if it arises in the quantum realm, let's say, it's something different from our four dimensions of the four dimensions which we can perceive. That realm of quantum fluctuations is different. We cannot even imagine that where it's happening. We cannot imagine at that scale. Anyway, let me show you all another thing. What can be achieved through yoga? So Swami Ram was a yogi and he went to USA where he voluntarily gave his body for experiments and he showed well surprising feats. You can see here that he voluntarily stopped his heart from pumping blood for 17 seconds. And well not any normal guy would die like this, right? But anyway, he did that. And then he showed that he could produce theta, longer theta waves of dreaming sleep and even delta waves of deep sleep, even while staying aware throughout and being able to describe accurately what had happened in the laboratory, right? Although he had been lying in the laboratory snoring. So how could that happen? And he did many other things too, like he was able to create a temperature difference of 5 degrees Celsius between two areas on the palm of his right hand. You can see here all those things. And even a few more things also he had shown that he could do through yoga. So basically, through yoga, you can even control the involuntary actions of your brain. Uh, what I mean to say, you can do what we think is only done unconsciously, but you can consciously control these actions in your body through yoga. Through yoga, you can perfect these things. Well, let's talk about something else then. These are the studied cases of rebirth. In University of Virginia, Stevenson conducted more than 2,500 case studies over 40 years. See, and he said that some 35% of the subjects examined had birthmarks or disabilities which were claimed that they were because of the last birth, and they got verified too that the person who they say they were in the last birth while dying had these types of injuries and all. So yeah, and then he was followed on by Tucker, who continued his research, and he reports that in about 70% of the cases there is well high level of proof that they are saying the truth. So there are also studied cases of rebirth. Now, why am I bringing up these things here? Well, let's talk about something connected to this. Stevenson also did some experiments in which he found that adults under hypnosis seem to remember a past life and show rudimentary use of language they had not learned in the present life. Well, that means by altering the state of the consciousness, a man can remember his previous life. Well, you are playing with consciousness here again, which is arising in the quantum realm in our brain, according to Sir Roger Penrose, right? Now, critics have argued that there is no material explanation for the survival of the self, as in the soul. They do not believe in the soul, obviously. Tucker says that quantum mechanics may offer a mechanism by which memories and emotions could carry over from one life to another. And yeah, obviously, this suggestion has been rejected by physicists, but physicists also reject Roger Penrose's claims. So, and let me talk about something else too. So you can see a picture of the book of a book here. That's basically a journal of parapsychology, in the Indian Journal of Parapsychology. It was published by the University of Rajasthan, I believe, and it has many cases of rebirth and verified cases of rebirth and extrasensory perception and feats like that, which they had recorded. These are verified cases which they had recorded. So I just wanna tell you all that it all these things have been carefully examined, and there is a lot of experimental proof that yeah, these things could happen. But anyway, you might be confused and thinking, where am I going with all this? So first thing which we know is, we know that through soma, yoga, sadhana, people can alter their states of consciousness and attain both uh, physical siddhis, and which Swami Ram showed, and mental, like remembering previous births, by altering their consciousness. Now, Stevenson altered the consciousness of a few adults using hypnosis, but through soma or yoga or sadhana, you can do it to you can do it yourself too. You can alter your state of consciousness yourself. The second thing is, most probably many dimensions or realms exist which we cannot comprehend. Basically, it's almost proven that there are many dimensions which we cannot comprehend, because obviously relativity is not well suited with quantum mechanics. We need a theory of everything which unites which unites basically the theory of gravity with quantum mechanics. And string theory and M theory are the best case scenarios for that. And they both require 9, 10, 11 dimensions. So yeah, that means there must be dimensions which we cannot comprehend. So there is no problem in saying that there could be. I'm just saying there could be realms which we cannot comprehend either. Well, let's come to the third point. Consciousness might be stemming out of quantum fluctuations in our brain, which was proposed by Roger Penrose. And the fourth world might be there from eternity or Sanatan, which is proposed by Roger Penrose in CCC. Well, what's the conclusion of this? The conclusion is Vedic gods might be beings living in the higher lokas. Call them realms or dimensions, higher realms or higher dimensions, it's up to you. But to whom we could be connecting through altering the quantum fluctuations in our brain through sadhana. In sadhana, we'd be using mantras. What's the science behind mantras? What's the logic behind mantras? I would be covering in another video. But anyway, we could be doing this through sadhana or yoga or through rituals like soma, etc. We do not exactly know what was used in soma ritual, what the exact soma plant is. But yeah, many people think that it must be a psychedelic plant. Anyway, what I want to say here is that Sanatan is not unscientific. I am not claiming that it is it is the only possibility. It I'm saying that it is also one of the possibilities. I'm saying it is not unscientific. You cannot just come and say that whatever you are talking about is bullshit. No, it is not unscientific, and I am using the theories which are already there in theoretical physics. I'm not making stuff on my own. I had posted a community post where I showed in my atheistic journey which all books I used to read, and they are all of theoretical physics. You can go and see that collection. I'm not well, speaking out of thin air, right? I have something to back me, and I'll link that post in the description. You can see it there. Basically, what I'm saying is that Sanatan is not unscientific, and you should know it. We are we basically live in a world where many realms exist, and Vedic gods might be beings living in the higher realms. I'm just saying that they are beings of the higher realms, and we could connect with them through soma, yoga, or sadhana, in which we alter our consciousness. We alter basically the quantum fluctuations which are happening in our brain, and through altering them, we can make connection with the higher deities. They are in the higher lokas, and they then can provide us. They can you can say that they can change our quantum fluctuations in such a way that we can consciously then create. We can consciously then both do physically what we want to and mentally what we want to. Have superpowers basically. We can do that. So I hope you get it. Sanatan is not unscientific. Well, here I am showing you the all the 14 lokas which are mentioned in the Sanatan Dharma. These are the 14 dimensions of reality. And yeah, you shouldn't forget that even though these deities are in higher lokas, in higher dimensions, but the whole fabric of space-time, or the whole fabric of the multiverse or the universe or whatever it is, the whole fabric of the world is Para Vishnu or Mahavishnu, or in our case, our Isht, Sri Lakshmi Narsingh Dev. So yeah, I'd suggest that you all always remember that even though these dimensions exist and these deities, Vedic gods exist, but at the core, in Vishishta Advaita, we believe that it's the whole fabric of the universe, the whole essence, the base. It is Sri Mahavishnu only. Jai Sri Lakshmi Narsingh Dev, Jai Prahlad Maharaj. Thank you.